If anyone had told Linda that Maxwell, the man who once knelt in the rain just to propose to her, would one day look at her with disgust, she would have sworn it's a lie, because Maxwell wasn't just her husband. He was the man who chased her for 2 years before she finally said yes. But somehow, all it took was just one child to break that promise. Linda gave birth to their daughter after 16 hours of labor. She was weak and bleeding, but grateful. When Maxwell walked into the hospital room that evening, she waited for him to rush in with flowers, a smile, or even a kiss. Instead, he walked in, stared at the baby, gave a tight nod and said, "Thank God everything went well." And that was it. No hugs, no "I'm proud of you," just a dry statement and a scroll through his phone. She told herself maybe he was just overwhelmed. After all, becoming a father could shake a man. But the coldness followed them home. The first night home with the baby, Maxwell refused to sleep in their room. He claimed the baby's cries gave him a headache, said he needed rest for work. Linda smiled and told him it was fine. She believed it was temporary, but it wasn't. One night became two, two became a week. Soon, Maxwell moved most of his things to the guest room, his shirts, his colon, even his office laptop. And every night, Linda sat alone, breastfeeding in silence, wondering when her marriage became a prison. The day she knew something was terribly wrong was when she prepared his favorite meal and waited for him. Maxwell came home late. Linda was wearing the same night dress he begged her never to stop wearing. She set the table with appetizing fruits, trying to recreate the night they spent together before marriage. Maxwell walked in, looked at the table, sniffed the air and said, "I am not hungry," then walked past her and went straight to bed. He didn't even notice she was wearing his favorite perfume. Linda sat by that table for nearly 10 minutes, hands trembling, food untouched, and heart sinking. That was when she realized Maxwell didn't want her anymore. But even then, Linda refused to give up. She booked a spa session, started a workout routine, even though her stitch is still hot, woke up early to make breakfast, bought new nightwears online. She did everything she thought a wife would do to keep her man, but Maxwell didn't even blink. The man who once couldn't keep his hands off her now acted like her shadow disgusted him. The night Linda broke was a rainy Saturday. She had just put the baby to sleep and went to get a glass of water. She overheard Maxwell talking to someone over the phone. It wasn't the way he spoke that shattered her. It was the voice at the other end, a woman. And then Maxwell said, "You won't believe it. Her stomach is full of wrinkles and extra skin." Linda's heart slammed against her chest. Her ears rang. She stood there, hiding behind the door, listening to her husband of 2 years describe her like a piece of worn-out clothes. Linda stood frozen behind the half-closed door. Her heart didn't just break, it shattered into sharp, invisible pieces. "I'm tired of her. She's fat now, always looking like a shadow of herself. I can't even stand her in bed," Maxwell said. Maxwell's voice was soft, but every word hit her like a thunderclap. Linda's knees gave way and she sank to the floor, hugging her knees as the tears came. She remembered how they used to laugh, how he would kiss her forehead and call her my queen. Now she was being called fat. That night she served him dinner, shaking inside and smiled like nothing happened. But when he finished eating, he walked past her like she didn't exist. Linda went to bed alone like every other night. She knelt beside the bed. "God, please fix this. Don't let my marriage die," she said. But Maxwell, he got worse. He started sleeping out, and when he did come home, he slept on the couch. And when she tried to cuddle him, he shoved her off with a grunt. One night, she wore a sexy nightgown, one she bought with her last money. He took one look at her and sneered, "You look like a clown. Stop embarrassing yourself." Linda sat on the cold bedroom floor, with her knees hugged tight to her chest, eyes fixed on the mirror opposite her. She didn't realize the woman staring back. Puffy eyes, sharp lips, hair like scattered wool. "Is this really me?" She touched her face gently. The same woman Maxwell once said he couldn't wait to grow old with, now a stranger even to herself. The nights got darker, the house got colder, and her heart emptier. But the loudest pain wasn't Maxwell's rejection. It was the soft cries of her baby, a 6-month-old gift she once prayed for. One afternoon, after Maxwell stormed out of the house, accusing her of suffocating him, Linda walked into the nursery. Her baby lay in the crib, wailing. Her chest tightened. The voices in her head screamed louder than the baby's cries. "You are useless. You can't even keep a man. You are alone." She stood by the crib, staring at the helpless child. For a second, a dark thought crossed her mind. If I just press this pillow down, everything will be quiet. Her hand trembled as she reached for the pillow. But a small sound broke through. A soft, innocent giggle. Her baby smiled, eyes locking with hers. Linda dropped the pillow and carried her baby from the nursery. The next day was a Saturday, Maxwell's friend's birthday. Linda almost didn't want to go, but her mother-in-law called that morning. "You must follow him. People are watching." So she dressed carefully, a simple white gown, light makeup, hoping that day might be different. But she got the shock of her life at the party.